Monza, the Temple of Speed, a massively famous venue that has played host to many incredible races and has withstood the test of time. So how has Monza become such a historic event? This is all you need to know about the Autodromo Nazionale Di Monza. Monza is the oldest circuit on today's Formula One calendar, having been built in 1922. The circuit has changed dramatically during its pre-F1 days, but I'd like to focus on its involvement in Formula One from 1950 onwards. It held its first race on a track vaguely recognisable to the modern circuit, lacking just chicanes and with some differing corners. However, after the Second World War, the circuit had been damaged by the fighting. The track surface had been broken up and much of the grandstands and buildings had been destroyed. However, the track was rebuilt and in the same format as the races prior to the war. The course was used until 1954 before the introduction of a brand new oval circuit. This was used in conjunction with the existing road course and with alterations to some other corners got the circuit to exactly 10 kilometres. It was then the famous Parabolica corner was created. This layout held races in 1955 and 1956, but a construction error resulted in an extremely bumpy surface. This caused suspension and tyre failures as the surface of the road and the oval section were very different. On top of this, the banking hit angles of up to 80 degrees. The layout used the start-finish straight twice per lap, and with rubber pylons separating the left from the right. The oval can still be seen as the modern circuit passes below it. The danger of this configuration resulted in its dropping from the calendar, and the race once again was held at the road circuit. The oval and the road circuit have made two other appearances in 1960 and 1961. This brought controversy as it was clear the track returned as it favoured Ferrari's straight-line speed advantage. The British teams of the era therefore chose not to race. However, after the horrific crash on lap 2 of the 1961 race, killing 15 spectators and Ferrari driver Wolfgang von Trips, the layout was finally dropped. Therefore, the design then returned to the earlier road circuit. This remained the same for a decade of racing, but as cars got quicker, slipstream became prevalent in all of the races due to a lack of slow corners. In 1969, the top finishes could be separated by just 0.19 seconds, and in the following year, the top 5 were separated by just 0.61 seconds. Therefore, the track changed once again to implement a chicane on the start-finish straight, and a chicane before the penultimate straight. Since then, some changes have been made to sections of the track, including the final change in the year 2000, which changed the first chicane to what we know today. The modern circuit is now 5.8 kilometres long, but contains only 11 corners. The run to the first corner is long and straight before turns 1 and 2, the Variante del Rettifilo. This is a common overtaking spot as cars enter the chicane at upwards of 220 miles an hour. Then Curva Grande, which is in fact a large curve. This is sometimes referred to as Curva Biasono. A straight then brings us to the Variante de Roggia, a tough section at which correct braking is important. A short run then brings us to the two Lesmo corners. Then comes a long straight with a slight kink called Curva de Salagrio. Then the famous Ascari chicane, named after Alberto Ascari, the Italian racing driver who lost his life testing cars at Monza. Another long straight brings us to the most famous corner on the track, Curva Parabolica, an increasing radius corner that brings us back to the long start-finish straight. Nowadays, the circuit is a favourite of many, having held great races through its tenure as an F1 host. Famously, Michael Schumacher's battle with Mika Hakkinen in 1998, and the success of Toro Rosso/AlphaTauri here, taking both of their 2 race wins at the circuit, due to the efforts of Sebastian Vettel and Pierre Gasly. This shows that even through drastic car innovation, the circuit has continued to supply great racing. Aside from that, it is the home of the Tifosi, Ferrari's loyal fan base of massive size, such that if a driver from another team wins, boos will overpower all other crowd noise. This appears to have worked considering Ferrari's success here, becoming victorious on over 20 occasions over the years, many more than any other team. It is also loved because of its unique track nature, with drivers taking 80% of the lap at full throttle. Adding to that, its history is one of the richest on the Formula One calendar, having held the greatest number of Formula One events, hosting every year except 1980, in which the circuit underwent upgrades to facilities. From this, it's clear to see that the Monza Grand Prix is unlike any other, and F1's most frequent destination has become synonymous with unforgettable races, and is one of the most loved layouts on the Formula One calendar.